Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, getting ready for Monster Jam. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Truck Universe. I'm Matt Steele.
And I'm Buzz Thompson. This place is empty now. Crew's getting ready behind me. Within a couple hours, there's going to be 65,000 people screaming for monster trucks. They're crushing cars. Noise is going to be crazy.
This is going to be awesome, man, and that's exactly what we're doing here today as Truck Universe takes you behind the scenes at Monster Jam. There's so many things going on this morning as we get ready for showtime tonight. They're inside the track, building it up, getting it all ready. The drivers are just showing up, and we're out here in the pits. And really, one of the first things the drivers have to go through is tech inspection.
Yeah, you know, earlier today, I got an opportunity to talk to one of those techs and find out what it is they're looking at when they look at these trucks.
Left lane. Now, I checked it with the radio. There's also a rear pull that I can shut the truck off at any time. Hey, RL, you gonna put a ring on this thing? Thank you. And now that that's done, I just go through and mark off. The one in the rear of the vehicle worked, the right lane worked, left lane worked. Indicator lights, which was the red and yellow light that you saw in the windshield. Full page checklist. I check all types of stuff. I check angle of exhaust, blower restraint straps, dual idle return springs, numerous things. All right, John, fire it up, please. Good. Rear pull. Good.
So you find something wrong with one of these trucks. These guys aren't DQ'd on the spot, are they?
Oh, absolutely not. We give them time to fix it. 9 times out of 10, it's something simple. We just had an incident where it was just a little wire fell off. No problem. Fix the truck, come out, be ready to race. Making sure that this rubber seal is in good shape. Some of the fuel caps have a vent hole here. We don't allow that because if in the event the truck does go upside down, fuel leaks out of that. This particular one doesn't have that hole in it. So onboard fire extinguisher with nozzles placed where recommended, required. Handheld fire extinguisher you can get to. Fuel shut off, power shut off. RII reset switch. Here's his 2 lights. Everything up here looks good.
Now we've got a much better idea what it takes to get one of these trucks out of the track. Let's go catch up with Matt, who's going to talk to one of the guys that drives one of these things.
One of the most popular questions we get about these big monster trucks is how do they get them around? How do they get them from show to show? They're so big. Well, they haul them in the back of an 18-wheeler trailer, but the tires are really big. They're not going to fit in that trailer, so what do? They put them on these little transport tires, little tall, skinny tires. That way they can fit it right inside the trailer. Now, this is kind of behind the scenes before the show gets ready. Now we can see how the tires are set up. Basically, they're set up at about the halfway point down the trailer. Now, these things are 66 inches tall, 43 inches wide, and with the rim in there, the way John's got these things cut down, they weigh about 700 pounds, so they're going to take up a lot of room. They're right behind them. They can stuff the rest of this truck back in there. This is John SEASOCK. John, good to see you.
How you doing, man?
Owner of the T-Max Monster Truck, and I know that you've been around for a long time, and I think the main question is, how did this all get started for you?
A long time ago, I went to a show in the Spectrum, Philadelphia, as like all the other fans, sat there and they had a tractor pulling back then amongst the trucks with just the filler rack. Sat there and watched the trucks, waited outside for an autograph, and said, now I want to do this. I talked to some of the drivers, and a couple of them gave me business cards. So if you have any questions, give me a call. We'll try to help you out, and kind of learn from their mistakes. And 15 years later, I'm out here, trying to be one of the top guys out there.
And that's you are, man. In 15 years, we know that this has an effect on the family. There's times of the year where you don't see them too often. Tell us a little bit about the traveling.
Been out on the road 2 weeks. It'll be a month by the time I get home. My crew chief, Mike Hoy, he's with me. Actually, his wife flew down here. Emily and a friend, Jessica, they're going to help us out this weekend. And Mike gets a chance to see his family, too, which is cool. I have 2 boys. Thank God for the internet and cell phones. I'm on the phone a lot. And, my wife, she's very understanding, puts up a lot of us being on the road. It's a team effort. The support back home is just as important as me being out here.
You mentioned the team effort and the support, and really, you're a shining example of the importance of sponsorship in the sport as well. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah, thank God. We've been working a long time. We had a lot of good sponsors over the years, and Man, I never forgot the people that helped me when I first started out. I want to keep them forever. Luckily, Traxxas came aboard this year. We have a full ride with Traxxas. You can see a tractor trailer, the new trucks, Traxxas T-Max. It's a brand new Patrick chassis, new motor, and 540 Marlin block, and man, the truck is awesome.
You know, John seems like a really solid class act.
Dude, he really is. I mean, these guys are all competitive, but John in particular is one guy that everybody thinks a lot of in the monster truck world.
You know, really itching to find out what makes these things tick.
Well, I think we're going to go to break, but when we come back, you're going to have that opportunity, my friend, and I'm going to jump up in the cab. Welcome back to Truck Universe. I'll tell you what, if you know Buzz like I know Buzz, then you'd know that he couldn't wait to get underneath one of these things and figure it all out. And that's what he's doing right now.
These vehicles are built to do what no other vehicle in the world does. 10,000 pounds, 2,000 horsepower, 30 feet up in the air, come crashing down. And they do it by way of an alcohol-injected, blown big block motor. You notice these things are sitting in backwards? A lot of drivers have that as a preference so that the weight is in the back when they launch up in the air. But they're always thinking about safety. They've got these straps to keep the blower from shooting off into the air. The exhaust is always pointed down away from the crowd, and this scatter shield to keep pieces from coming out of the block if they throw a rod. These transmissions are SFI rated, they're wrapped in a Kevlar jacket, more protected than the president. And the transfer cases on these vehicles are called drop boxes. This is the beginning of gear reduction about 20-1. That's what helps them to get these huge tires up in the air.
Now let's take a quick look inside the cab of one of these 10,000-pound monster trucks. Man, this is the place to be. I'm all strapped in with my 5-point harness. I'm surrounded by the protective roll cage. This is the spot. Got the shifter, all the gauges and switches, the fire extinguisher, the steering wheel, and the rear steer. Name of the game is you want everything in this cab easy to get to, because I'm flying over school buses and vans and everything. I'm strapped in tight. I'm not going to move around, so I need to be able to get at everything, like the steering wheel and the rear steer. Tell you what, this rear steer is real tricky, but we figured it out. Not too long ago, we stopped by Chuck's Trucks in Orlando, and he gave us a quick rear steer education. Now this thing is cool. It's all about the crab walk.
Plastic crab. Catch a little rubber there, huh?
Oh yeah. Auto center it, park it, and we're good to go. Leave it in gear. Now let's take a look at this rear steering on this thing that makes this thing so much fun. Now, it looks cool, and nothing looks cooler than when you're driving down the road crab walking, man. This rear steer is really a lot of fun.
Oh, it's a great feature, and it's practical, you know, for turning and parking and maneuverability, and it's really cool to show off with. The rear steer just adds a total third dimension to driving that you're not normally used to in any vehicle.
And it's something that still not a lot of people have.
Right, it's been around a long time, but it's kind of rare. There's been some changes in rear steer. Mainly, number one is this sensor that tells us when the rear tire and axle assembly is centered up with the front. It's a return to center, or auto center, some people call it. We'll go into the switching of that in a minute. Also, the pump that runs this thing is electric, not manual off the power steering pump. It's electric. It's very similar to like a liftgate motor that you'd see in a box truck.
Right.
We'll show that liftgate motor pump up here in a minute, and we'll also show the switching for this auto center. It's really trick. Here we have our controller for the rear steer. We have our left and right, and we also have our auto center manual and automatic. We can turn that either way for a beautiful feature, so we can crab or we can hit left to right and it'll auto center for us without even looking back. All right, Matt, from those switches up there on the control, they come down to these solenoids. Here's our left solenoid and our right solenoid. Those actuate which way the hydraulic fluid goes. Here's our reservoir that holds the fluid in here, and when we have that voltage come in from our switch, it comes down, runs this electric motor, just like a liftgate motor. Our battery solenoid and voltage comes in here, and when this pump spins, we can shoot fluid this way for a left turn, or this way for a right turn. Very self-contained, one-piece unit, very nice, very effective.
So this rear steer is yet another thing that we take a look at that really adds a lot to the vehicle, no matter if it's a truck or if it's a big golf cart, if you got one of these things laying around. And all in all, it's not overly complicated.
No, it's a very simple system, and it's been perfected over the years and really is nice.
When you come to the Super Bowl of Motorsports, you're going to see a lot of things. You're going to see a lot of trucks, you'll see a lot of fans, and you're definitely going to see a lot of dirt. And Buzz had an opportunity to catch up with the man who's known internationally as Dr. Dirt.
Yeah, a lot of people call him that, but he's really Lenny Fuller. So Lenny, how did you get the name Dr. Dirt?
I guess it's just because I'm a doctor of dirt. I analyze, work it, move it, you know, make it work for our events. So I guess they call me Dr. Dirt because I'm always working in the dirt.
Oh, that's pretty neat. So this stuff isn't a lot like dirt I'm used to. It looks a lot like cement.
Well, it's a clay content dirt. It's about 80% clay, 20% sand. It's a very good material. We're lucky to find it in this part of the world because clay is not common down here. It's more of a sandy type material. So we're very lucky we found this a few years ago, and we bought some of it, and we've been using it ever since.
So you guys have these events all over the place. You're hauling dirt all over the country?
Well, we're hauling it, but we're not hauling it all over the country. We have storage sites on site for most of our stadium events. Here in Tampa, we have dirt that's stored across the street in the parking lot. We built a little berm over there, and we grass it over during the year, and then we come back in, take it off, and bring our dirt in, build our tracks, put it back, resod it. You never know we were there, and it's there until the next year.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
So you guys just run in here and dump a bunch of dirt on the field and pull it out?
Not quite that. No, this is a grass field, and in this particular instance, we have to save the grass. So we have a very short window to come in, build our track, run our event, and get back out. We have about a 90-hour window here. So we started last night around 5:30, and we'll hopefully be off this by noontime or 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. We put down a geotex type material underneath, a felt fabric material, and we cover it with a sheet-in, which is like a polymer, 1/4-inch thick, 20-foot long, 5-foot wide sheet-in, which goes down very quick and comes up. It's about 900 sheets of it.
Hey, Buzz, congratulations, buddy. You're the newest graduate from Dirt University.
Who knew there was so much to dirt?
Man, there's so much to everything. Hey, we're going to go to break, but when we come back, you've got more work to do on that Duplicolor project truck.
Here's this week's Vortex Sprayliner truck tip. Getting hot feet in a racing vehicle can be controlled. Whether it's a late model stock car, modified, or race truck, floorboard temperatures can soar due to the high heat generated by the exhaust headers in front of the driver's compartment. The heat can be significantly reduced by applying a 1/2 inch of Vortex Sprayliner to the inside of the footwell. This will make the driver more comfortable and maybe a little faster. This is another great tip from Vortex, the official spray liner of Truck Universe.
Welcome back to Truck Universe. We are behind the scenes at the Super Bowl of Motorsports, taking a look at these monster trucks. Look at this rim, a 25-inch rim, and it's a lot of work to keep these things looking good. Hey, speaking of keeping rims looking good, let's head back to the studio where Buzz is doing some more work on our Duplicolor project truck.
Today I'm working on the project truck, and I'm going to customize the wheels. I've already taken care of 3 of them, and they're looking good. I've got 1 left, and as you can see, it's not in very good shape. Now, truck wheels can take a whole lot of abuse, and it looks like this one was cleaned with the wrong cleaner. It lost all of its shine. Now, buying a new set of rims and tires for your truck is great, but it's expensive. I've found an inexpensive way of solving that problem by putting some of this durable acrylic enamel coating on your wheels. Now, this stuff is made for wheels, so you can use it on aluminum, you can use it on steel, and you can use it on plastic, and it's durable, so it's heat and chip resistant, it's brake dust resistant, dirt and chemical resistant as well. Now, we painted our center caps black to keep with the whole look of the truck. Looks really sharp. But I've got 1 more wheel to take care of, and as with any other paint project, you need to make sure you prep it right. Make sure all the grease and oil is off, and also make sure the paint's going to stick really well. And since I didn't scratch this up, I've put some adhesion promoter on it. Now it's time to get started on that. All right, here it is, the finishing touch to our project. And it's looking good, too. If you want results like this, remember to take your time. Paint takes time to dry, so give it about 15 to 20 minutes between each light coat. It took me 3 coats to get these results, but it looks oh so good. Now I've got to pick a set of tires for these things, and we're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll have more from Monster Jam.
This Tire Tech is brought to you by Bridgestone Firestone North American Tire. Tire rotation is an essential element to long tire life. The first rotation at 2,500 miles is very important in reducing the onset of uneven tire wear. Without regular and proper rotation, your tires will wear unevenly and may need to be replaced more often. After the first rotation, make sure to rotate your tires every 5,000 to 7,000 miles or at the vehicle manufacturer's recommended mileage. A good rule to remember is to rotate your tires at the same time as you change your oil. This Tire Tech is brought to you by Bridgestone Firestone North American Tire.
Hey, welcome back to Truck Universe. If you've been into monster trucks at all, you've heard of the Gunslinger, but there's a whole new name on the scene, and that's the Superman truck. Matt got an opportunity to talk to the driver earlier.
This is Chad Fortune, driver of the Superman truck, and this is the first year out for the Superman truck, and what an overwhelming response from the fans you've had, huh, Chad?
It really has. It's been a lot of fun so far. It's only been the third week, and all of a sudden, kids coming out of the woodwork, great fans. I mean, Superman being so old as a character and as a cartoon, the young kids know exactly who he is, and it comes out in the truck.
Which is very cool. We talked about this a lot over the last couple of weeks. You know, you used to go to the pit parties, and there's certain drivers who usually have longer autograph lines, and now yours is right up there as long as everybody else's.
You're true. I mean, it's like, 20 years of Gravedigger, the legend of Gravedigger is still strong, but we bring it out for the first time this year, and Superman's right up there. Plus, I've got to do my job out there. I've got to make Superman fly.
Man, you do make him fly, and you do him proud. And I got to tell you, it's fun because we've known each other for a long time, man. And we get goosebumps up there when you come out of the truck after freestyle or whatever, and you stand and do the pose. It was unbelievable when it debuted a couple of weeks ago, and it sold out. Atlanta, everybody just went nuts.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've bragged for years about when you come out of that truck after a cool freestyle, you feel like a superhero. Now the real superhero is here, and when you come out there, it was my hometown in Atlanta, Georgia. Hometown crowd, it was sellout. We had a blast. We had a good run in racing, and freestyle was pretty nice too. This last week in New Orleans, we had a better freestyle, so we're right on par to go to the World Finals with this truck.
We're in Tampa, Florida, man. We know this is going to be a sellout out here tonight, and Florida fans love their monster trucks. Yeah. We've got Tampa and Orlando are two of the biggest shows anywhere. We're going to be at both of them, man, really tearing it up, and we're really looking forward to it.
I'm telling you, too. I mean, with this kind of weather, whether it rains or shines, it's still going to be a great show. It's outdoors. This is the grassroots of monster trucks.
Right.
You're going to be out there with the elements. If it rains, we're out there. If it shines, it's going to be great.
Right.
Superman's going to definitely fly. We're going to do some exciting things. The track's going to be, just like every week, it's going to be very exciting. The people here at Monster Jam are really doing a great job with track, keeping it interesting.
Now, there's a lot of buses and campers and everything, too, man. We saw a lot of obstacles. Any plans for those?
Well, if they put a small building in there, you know the old saying, able to leap a building in a single bound. So we'll see what happens. We'll deal with what we got, but we're going to go out there and have fun, and definitely we're going to fly.
Hey, Chad's got a great truck. He's a great guy. And Buzz, we've got a couple great products out here, man.
Yeah, we sure do. When you check out these trucks, you can see these guys do a whole lot of welding.
Oh, yeah.
So I found this Lincoln Electric Ultra Shade Platinum 2 trackside model helmet.
Very cool.
This thing pretty much offers you protection, visibility, and it's maintenance free.
Nice.
It's solar panel operated, so you don't have to put a battery in it. You don't have to turn a switch on and off.
Heck yeah, it's gonna anything to make it easier.
Exactly, it's completely automatic. And this thing's made to last. A lot of these things, after a few years, they get humidity in them and they die.
Right.
So this one's got humidity and moisture protection as well.
And it's lightweight, which is great.
Yeah, this thing will get the job done.
Excellent. Now that's cool, but I want to tell you about this line lock over here, this Hurst Shifters Roll Control by Mr. Gasket, originally designed for drag racers, but it's great also if you're going to park on a hill. You can use this in conjunction with your emergency brake, and it offers great vehicle control, which is great. It's got all stainless steel construction, so you've got great protection from the elements, and everything that you need to install it is right here. All the parts are in there, great instructions. Let's say you're out at the drag strip, maybe if you're a drag racer and you're at the line, what this is going to do is lock up your front tires for you. It gives you that lock, so then you can do that killer burnout and clean off the tires and make all that smoke go. It's awesome. That's what it's all about. So, like I said, it's great for the drag racers. That's who they originally developed it for. But it's also great for parking control, too. You know, there's a lot of hills out there and you park and stuff. But, tell you what, I know you've been itching to put this on. Buzz, we got to come back. We're going to go to break, and we got to come back and wrap everything up. But I got to tell you, that's a good look for you, man.
We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to Truck Universe. These are some of the huge obstacles that these monster trucks are going to be flying over tonight. It takes a very beefed up drive line to put up with the abuse that these drivers put on these trucks, and Buzz is checking that out right now. I have found out that the paint is still very fresh, and I think I'm going to need a towel.
We've got some pretty extreme suspension and drivetrain to handle 2,000 horsepower. We start out with a drive shaft, got these protective loops to keep things from flying out if something breaks. The drive brake assembly is a single rotor with a 4-piston caliper. That's all it takes to stop this. Look at the size of this chunk. This is out of the school bus that took you to school when you were a kid. The builders put this gusset on, moved on to putting on a bracket, and that's where the school bus ends. Now it's a 20-ton steering assembly with a planetary gear set in the end. That's where they get their 20-to-1 gear reduction. Starts in the wheels, moves onto the drive shaft, and into the engine and transmission.
Hey, we've had a great time out here today getting ready for the Monster Jam. Really, we've learned a lot too, man.
We sure have. We've seen the ins and outs of the entire operation.
We talked to a couple of the drivers. You got up close and personal with the trucks.
You can learn something about dirt. Who knew?
Who knew, man? I tell you. Hey, next week, Buzz, we've got an all-new project truck. It's an F-150, and Ford has a great line of aftermarket accessories. We're talking about rims, superchargers. We're going to do everything to this thing and really trick it out, and it all starts next week.
Hey, you know, they're starting to do sound tricks around here. We better get the heck out of here.
Yeah, I think they want us to leave. So, man, we want to thank them for having us out here today. We learned a lot, and we'll see you next time right here on Truck Universe.